In this video, we are going to go over how to create an XML layout and code a button, text view, and image view widget. Now we are using the Eclipse IDE with the Android SDK and ADT plugin. Now here's the Package Explorer. What you want to do to start out is you're going to go to File, New, Android Application Project. Let's call it Hello World. And let's make the target SDK API 18, just because that's a good target. Make that compile with, that theme is fine. Next. This is the default Android icon. That's just fine for now. And we're going to create a blank activity. Main activity name is fine. Alright, let's make that bigger. This is something you need to do. It often changes that. I like to make this bigger so I can see. This is the default text view. Let's delete that. Now, the first thing we should do is to put in this. Let's drag and drop an image view into here. It's got these snap lines, which is great. We're going to do that. Oh, and we're going to choose a drawable resource. Now, actually, we haven't done that yet, so let's go ahead. I actually have a file that I'd like to use. Is this globe here. Drag and drop it into, in the folder Resources, we're going to drop it into Drawable HDPI, High Density Pixels per Inch. Copy the files. Now when we drag in the image view, we'll select that one. It's called Images. There it is. That's just fine. Now we're going to also add a text view right underneath it. And here, let's follow proper naming conventions and call it TXT Hello World. That's fine. Update references, yes. And then we are going to, let's also get rid of the actual text because we're going to change that. Then we're going to drag in a button. And the point of the button is so that we can click it. Let's change the text to click me. Change the ID to the proper naming convention, BTN, click me, so that we can grab it later. Update the references, yes, always. Let's move this down just a little, because actually in here is the text view, which is currently invisible because we don't have any text in there. And so now we have it in the XML. This is the XML. This is the graphical layout, the nice, easy drag and drop interface. Here's the XML. And in here, we could also have changed, for example, the text of the text view. We could have changed the text of the button here or the image view. You can do everything in graphical layout that you can do in the XML file. Sometimes the graphical layout is easier for people. So now that we have it in the XML layout, now what we need to do is go to the actual Java file. The XML layout shows us what's going to appear, and the Java file is what does all the dirty work behind the scenes. We can find that back here. So this is our project. We can find the Java file in here under source, main activity.java. Let's save all. Now here, the onCreate is basically just like in Visual Studio, it's the onload. Basically, this line is saying, these two lines are telling the application what to do when it loads. So on create, which is on load, you're going to set content view to resources.layout.activity_main, which is the XML layout that we just programmed, or that we just set up. Now after here, we are going So anyway, here we are. As I said, this is for the onload event, and this sets the content view when the application loads. Here is the layout that we just designed. Now what we're going to do is we are going to instantiate a button, and we are going to link that button to the button that we made in the XML layout. Button, there's the type, B, and we're going to assign it to type button, find view by ID, resources, ID, btn, click me is what we called it, semicolon. Now we need to import the button because our application doesn't know what it is yet. There we go. Now we can do fun things with it. B, now we can set it on click listener, for example. Set on click listener, new on click listener. We're going to have to import that. Let's import this one first. Import on click listener. And it wants us to add the unimplemented methods because it's abstract. And the unimplemented method is, of course, on click. We have to tell it what to do when we click it. So we're going to say we want to set the text of the text view to hello world when button B is clicked. So we're going to have to instantiate the text view object again. So we're going to do that just like we did it for the button. Type text view T, let's call it T, it's easy, equals type text view, find view by ID, resources, ID, txt, hello world. We're going to have to import that just like we did for button. Now we can do things now that we have it. So T dot, and now we can see all these things that we can do with it. Woo. T dot set text hello world. We don't have to instantiate the image view because we are not actually doing anything with it other than simply displaying the image itself. Otherwise, if we wanted to animate it or something, we would have to instantiate it, and then we could do all kinds of things to it. So let's see if this works. Play. We're going to run as Android application. Okay. it always takes a minute for the emulator to come up. If you There you go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.